Hi everyone, it's me. If you like my channel, please like and subscribe. If you want, hit the little notifications bell in the corner and that'll get you notified as to when I go live. So, today was a Crosscut festival and it was absolutely amazing. And I met so many amazing people and learned so many awesome things and I'm just like still glowing from it. Hi Lady Lilac. Hi Hayos. Um, So I'm going to start out actually with kind of how my day started. So right now on my bedroom floor, I think there's like five pairs of heels and a pair of shoes that I was like, I didn't know what to wear. And then I just decided go with my funky self. And Kat had sent a really pretty pink skirt and I'm gonna adjust this so maybe the light isn't quite so like on my glasses. Oh, doesn't look like it's gonna do it. It's just gonna do it no matter what. Okay, back to it. So Kat is in a pink skirt, and I put that and with a cute denim jacket and my pink Converse because I'm me, and I was gonna go for comfort, and it was a great day. So it started out, and it was okay. So the day started out and I got on the bus and was on my way to, and this is very, very early. And so that's another thing. I felt good enough to get up and go and do this. And so that's another reason I'm totally stoked about it. Um, so I was there and I was waiting for the bus stop. What's the weather like in Seattle? It's cold here in Australia. Winter is here next month. It's actually really nice out. Actually, I'm wearing a sweatshirt because it's a little chilly at night, and but no, it's been absolutely gorgeous. Um, so I was at the bus stop, and started talking to a woman there, and you know, I wasn't going to make assumptions that she was homeless, but it came up in this scope of conversation because pretty much any conversation with me will somehow roundabout go to the issues that I am concerned about, which and so we were talking and I noticed that on her head there were scars. And I said, "Hey, you brain injured?" She's like, "Yeah." And she points at him. And I was like, "Okay, let me tell you something." I was like, "You need to go over to the Brain Injury Alliance of Washington. Get hooked up with the Brain Injury Alliance. They will get you a social worker and they understand the impacts of brain injury. And there are things about the parts of the brain that could be injured that before we're aware, I mean, before we're educated about it, they have a significant impact on our being. And I'm going to get a little into that as well as I go. But I talked to her for a while and she was really awesome. Her name was Catherine Ace. If you did find this channel, you made an impact on me today. You were just an amazing human being. And please get over to Brain Injury Alliance and you got this, girl. I believe in you. And she just had an amazing spirit. Happy Cinco de Cuatro. um, so after that, then I got greetings. uh, Buddha Man. Okay. Um, so I got on the bus and I got to the Crosscut Festival, and immediately, okay, I am me, and I will. Oh, hi, Kat. And I will always go with being myself over trying to be something I'm not. But there are times, and I think it's rather normal that I get uncomfortable or nervous, and especially being in a venue with you know all these talking points and all these individuals. It was just amazing energy. So I get there and I'm like almost hyped up. It was very early. And so I went and got my badge and everything, and I'm just kind of like, I don't know anybody at this point, and I'm just kind of like going through my things, writing in my date planner, waiting for the first one to start. And because I'm me, the lady comes over from the Women Voters League, and I was like, "Hey, I need to talk to you." And she's like, "Really?" I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "I'm a community liaison for the unhoused, and what we need are people to go in and get people to vote that have addresses in the shelters, get get reach out to that community. The vote impacts them so much. They need to take part, but most of the a lot of people don't know how. I'm not gonna say most of the people don't know how, but I'm gonna say a lot of people don't know how. And if we make the easier we make it for the vulnerable to be able to take part, it's it's just gonna be better all around. We're just gonna the more people have a voice, the more we understand just the issues facing us. I mean, all in the concerns from everybody, it's interconnected. Um, Hi, John. So get there, I'm doing my thing. And then I asked her, I was like, could you do this? And she's like, yeah. Well, she connects me with the lady. We start talking. She connects me with another lady. And so we're going to hook up on maybe not in my capacity as a community liaison, because that's different. I work with the Democracy Voucher Program, which is a city program. Um, but definitely trying to, just it isn't even about for me getting people to vote. All right. There's a choice in that. If you want to vote, vote. If you don't want to vote, don't vote. But I want you to know that your voice can be heard. And this is one way. There's several ways for your voice to be heard, but it is one way to take part in public. So that was that. And then next, I meet this amazing woman who was an environmental lawyer. She's just like, and I'm going to be honest, I forgot her name. She took my information and I did not take hers. So I am like really hoping she contacts me. Um, and we weren't neither one of us were really sure where we were going. And I was like, okay, well, let's go. I was going to go to this one. It was a speaker. Um, and there's a reason I'm not going to say who it is. And, but we went in and I'm, I was not impressed with the subject matter or or I don't think that talk was helpful in the least. And they said it was going to address some major issues and it skirted them. It was not helpful at all. We could have skipped that one. However, because life throws us all of these, even though I'm going to an event to listen to speakers and learn from that, there's a whole environment of people around me, right? And so I'm learning from them too. And we get to talking afterwards, and there was this guy, and he's like, he started asking, questions about what we did and everything else, and then she started talking, and she was much quieter than me. Once I get around people, I tend to go manic. It's a thing. I get real hyped up real quick, and I kind of become bouncy. And it's something that I'm not going to say I can't control because I work very, very hard on. Can you say my name, Jeff? I'll discuss dinner and all that in just a little bit. Um, but he would ask me, but this woman, she was much quieter than I was, and she really listened to, not only did she listen to what he had to say, she was so great in her questions to bring out what issues was he addressing or what was he talking about. And I was just very inspired by that. And afterwards, I told her, I said, there's one thing I want to say to you. I said, I want to thank you because just watching you showed me a lot about communication and how much I have to learn about active listening and scaling down my behavior, hopefully, so that I become a better listener, a more interactive person where I'm not talking at people, I'm talking to them. And that was That was actually a point the guy brought up, is he says, "I think too many people are talking at one another, not to each other." And I thought about that and I was like, well, maybe, yeah, okay, I can see that. I can totally see that. So, and I think even if, like, say I wanted to deny my own behavior, but I mean, everybody, I have faults and things like that. I'm sure I do it. I'm positive I do it. I am positive that I do it, have done it, and I'm going to try very hard to change that and become a better and more active listener, to be able to really think about not just what someone's asking, but get down to maybe why. Um, so I'm going to work on that. And that was something, even though I didn't learn anything from the talk, I learned from her. And it was a lesson that I really took to heart and was like, wow, and one point that she brought up, and I'm going to bring it up, is privilege. And when people a lot of times discuss my situation, for example, they say, "You're a success story." And she said, well, and because the guy had brought that up, and I was like, well, I said, here's the thing. I said, it also depends what your definition of success is or failure is. Because to say I'm a success story means that, was I a failure before? I wasn't. I wasn't a failure. I was no more a failure under the bridge than I am a failure now. I'm a human being who's learning and trying so very hard. Um, Hi, Mark. Hi, John. Yeah, it's easy, but see, here's the thing. You say I often catch myself doing that. That's like, it brings me to like this one talk we had, and this one that was really amazing, and it was on changing the criminal justice system. And I am racking my brain right now for the two women that spoke, but I can tell you their books. And I want one of the books. So, I mean, they both looked amazing. And the other woman's, I would definitely read, but this one is called Biased. Biased, Biased. And it really takes a look at our criminal justice system and where we're going with that, with our biases, and biases that we don't sometimes even know we have, where we have to, like John said, catch ourselves in the process. But that takes reflection, and that takes self-analyzation. Yes, words mean different things to different people, and that's why semantics is so important, because semantics matter. What someone says matters, because someone has to listen to that and process it. And so it's really important to look at those things that may be limiting our thinking, or limiting, our scope of, and even what we can do. The if I would have thought I couldn't do anything, I wouldn't have. But I've always believed that no matter my situation, I can make a difference. I can do that. Even if I can't leave my house, I can make a difference. And so that became really important to me. Can I post those books? I will. I will look for the authors and I will post those books, because it was amazing, amazing, amazing discussion. I was just like so thrilled. And actually, um, Dana from Resolution to End Homelessness had caught up with me. And if Dana is watching, I have something to say to you. You are just an angel of a human being. I know how I get. And I was orbiting you like a hyper squirrel today. And you did amazing. And your commitment to what you do is inspiring. And I want to thank you. And I want to thank you for making the event better for me, for sure. And, John, you heard the bird. That bird is actually a sparrow call, and it's my message ringtone. I, I really like birds. So, there was that, and then as me and Dana were like, "Okay, so I'm not gonna lie, like, the lunch truck lines were insane, and there was only 1 taco truck. 1 1 taco truck." Like, what? So, I ended up not getting a taco, which I was actually kind of upset about. What a funny thing to be upset about. Not upset. When I say upset, nothing really upset me. It was actually a beautiful, beautiful day. So don't think anything actually bothered me. Um, so well, I mean, there was a couple things that bothered me, but we'll get into that later. So after that, after lunch, we were sitting at this table, and there was this woman, and I immediately noticed her because number 1, I have straight hair. So anytime anybody has curly hair, I'm immediately like side glance and like, "Ooh, that's pretty." Or, "Ooh, I wish I had curly hair." It is the most ridiculous thing. It really is. I love my hair, but I'll look at curly hair and be like, "Ooh." And she had, natural black hair, but it was this gorgeous wine color. She looked amazing, like, and in her spirit too. And so she was sitting with like all these teens, right? And we get to talking, and like, "Hey, how are you? What do you do?" She runs this program called Urban Teen. When I tell you that 2 of them started talking about their projects, and both of them centered on ways to help the homeless. It was it was phenomenal. And the passion of these kids and what they were doing, and the passion of this woman and what she was doing was just like infectious. So I was like, need your business card? Need your business card because I need to learn more about this. This is a great way to get kids involved. We need to get, our kids thinking about how solutions. We need to get them thinking about, not worrying about. Because worry is where you just throw it over and over in your head, and it's like a washing machine. It just cycles around. And thinking about something is you have it here, but you're able to look at it from different angles and actually process and think about the different ins and outs. And so I think that we should definitely teach our kids, think about these things, not worry about them, but think about them. Use our wonderful skills of metacognition, thinking about our thinking. Hi Tatum. Yeah, Kat, I definitely do too. Yeah, I do like curls. I'm a big one for curls. And honestly, I've heard so many people with curls say, "I wish I had straight hair," and it's like, maybe it's just that thing where you're like trying something different, like, green or blue hair. I like pink hair too. So we did that, went to there. And so now, lunches, I met them, amazing. And see, the reason I'm kind of skimming over some of this, and I'll tell you the programs and stuff, but I'm kind of skimming over some of it, is because later on in my vlogs, I am going to center on some of these speakers and what they were speaking about and really go in depth. But here's the thing, I just attended this today. So a lot of the speakers and what they said, and I'm going to have to review my notes and really let it marinate and sit so that I really retain it and think about it and can process it and use it in a way that's valuable to all of us in society. So, that's John. I can be a big worry where it's bad mood to live. Yeah. Okay. Funny thing. Not funny, I guess, but it is funny. One of my brain injuries, well, several of my brain injuries were right here. That's your frontal lobe. And one of the things that did for me was I used to be an insane worrier. Insomniac, would be up for, days just freaking out and worrying. And one thing after the brain injuries is that I can't worry for very long. I can't track it that long. Something else will grab my attention. Which is I'm ultra thankful about, because that pulls me out of sometimes like when you have major depressive disorder and you're getting into the suicidal ideation and some of the things that come along with that. it to be able to have something snap you out of it is extremely helpful, and to not look at a problem and only be able to see the problem. So, and then we went to the next one. Oh, and in between then, I am gonna say, I skipped, Pramila's because I went to Starbucks, and I wanted to thank Bill for putting money on the Starbucks card because it was so needed. But I do have to say, like, that's what I had today, so I was jacked up on caffeine and sugar and around people, so I was manic. Oh, it was a ball of fun. I felt like I was skipping on air. So we go to this last one, and it was great. And the people we had there was Catherine Hendrickson, and she's an amazing person, and she does amazing work. Again, very quiet individual, but just really phenomenal. I met her during the Seattle Ignite things, and I kind of follow her online and just kind of look at her work. She was a moderator, it seemed like, and then there was Rex. I'm not sure his last name, from Facing Homelessness. Um, and then there was this. Oh, and this is the thing. Here's the thing. It kills me because this woman, and she is like either on city council or city commissioner on Portland and Portland, Oregon, and she was like my spirit sister. I loved her. She was speaking and I kept clapping and like nobody's clapping. So I'm like, oh no, because I'd be like, yeah. And Dana's like, oh. I'm like, I had to sit on my hands, like literally sit on my hands to keep from clapping for this woman. She was just so phenomenal, and I will talk about her more later. But I did go up afterwards to specifically meet her and just tell her that she just made my soul glow. Like, I loved her spirit. I just loved her spirit and the way she went into it and who she was as a person. Just like, yeah, you go. Like the kind of person I just want to hug. And then we had, of course, okay, moving on. And then we had Constantine, um, and that was interesting. And then we had, I think, the mayor of Oakland. Um, and one thing I learned during this, I learned a lot actually during this whole one, but one thing I learned while listening to people was that there's a lot of nostalgia that goes into decision making, nostalgic feelings, places that, you know, neighborhood icons. You know, we literally have buildings that are falling down structurally that are just, oh my gosh. And people are like, yeah, but I went there as it's a pile of dust now. I'm sorry. There are people that need to be housed when it comes down to it. Sorry about your luck. Like, that's the thing, is being able to accept things as they are. One of the things that and I learned from that woman I met that was 100. I met her on her 100th birthday. It all changes. The one thing you can count on is it won't be the same for long, because life changes, everything changes. And so I think nostalgia is good, but I think when it keeps us from doing things on a humanitarian level, I think that's frustrating. And I think it's frustrating when people use nostalgia to shut other people out as you don't belong. And I just don't have that. I mean, I have some nostalgia towards places, but nothing that, I wouldn't give up in a heartbeat to save a life, but that's me. So, that was today, and then and then Viana, who is a reporter for the Seattle Times, she's also just regardless of she's just an amazing human being. She was sitting beside us, so I left that one and then, talked to her for a while about some, new projects, like, with healthcare and getting everybody on board to understand that, your habitat is a key part of your health. Which I mean, that's the thing though, is I think that's spreading the word, letting people know that there are solutions. We already know the solutions. We just need funding for implementation in a cost-effective and efficient manner, strengthening the framework, getting it out there. That's what we need to do. So it was like so exciting. I did not take Rowan. And my row girl was so happy to see me when I got home. I honestly think I handled being away from her better than she handled being away from me. Gypsy had to yell at her from her balcony to be quiet a couple times. So I think this is telling me that maybe not so long of a period of time next time, and maybe I need to hide more snacks around the house because that's what I do. Anytime I have to leave her, I'll hide snacks around the house to keep her busy finding them to take her mind off of me leaving. And so she goes around the house and like sniffs out the tree. It's a thing. So I got home and I was exhausted. It is being around groups of people, I get really like shaky. And so I got home and I was just like flat out exhausted. And Gypsy came up and walked Rowan for me, which was absolutely awesome. And I felt like it was such a beautiful experience and one that I am really thankful for. Um, I had put a call out to go to this, and Mark, he trying to think of his last name. He works in he's Mark Lloyd. Thank you, Mark Lloyd. Mark Lloyd was the one that knew someone who was able to sponsor me for the day, and it just was awesome. It was just this, honestly, even though I haven't felt good this week, this has been a really good week. Um, I do want to send a thank you out to Jeffrey H. I'm not sure how to pronounce your last name, so I'm gonna say H because otherwise I might slaughter. So he has sent supplies for the West Seattle Cares event on Mother's Day, and where I'm gonna go out with people and hand stuff out. And Bill has also sent supplies. Oh, did I? Oh, I might not have said any. Okay, so I want to send a shout out to just all the people that make this possible. Like today, it was a culmination of other people's efforts to get this learning out and for me to be here talking about this. This was Mark Lloyd, getting me a sponsorship. Bill Higgins putting money on the Starbucks card so I can stay jacked up on caffeine and still be there and be present and be myself. And Liz for reminding me in the mornings to take my meds. And Kat reminding me today, that she was there and wearing the skirt she sent. You know, Jeffrey sending the supplies. I could honestly, I could go on and on and on and on about everybody and everything, but I think you guys get the point. Our lives are so directly connected, and kindness sparks kindness. It really does. And I am so thankful to all of you. Truly. Messages of love, messages of support. Really, you guys rock. Um, it is very satisfying to be with people that you really relate to. Hi, local tourist. Oh, bye, Tatum. It was nice having you on here. Um, so that was pretty much the day. I got back exhausted, and then I had to, of course, process what I wanted to talk to you guys about, and and that was pretty much it. Uh, Probably going to do some painting, and tomorrow I am going to rest because this week there are tons of meetings with other providers. Like this week, I believe there's a meeting with oh gosh, why? Probably because 'cause I'm tired. I am so sorry. Choose 180. And, some other meetings as well that I'm just, like, so excited about. And that's all I gotta say, really. I'm thankful. I am thankful to be alive and have this chance to make the world a better place. And that makes me glow inside sometimes. So I wish you all the best and so much love, and I hope you all have an amazing weekend. All right, I will talk to you later.